Hello. Welcome to another episode. Gavin Reshaw presents G Boot on channel G Boot 2786. If you're in the chat room, leave a comment. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. Uh, Pleasure to be here with you guys on this Tuesday morning. I'm doing a little work from home today, but did want to talk about this breaking news. And I called this last week. We talked about the R. Kelly situation. I'll just get into it. Chris Brown is being charged with rape in Paris. Well, if you remember last week, I believe it was last week or so, I commented, on the R. Kelly situation, and USA Today put out an article. Don't have that lady's name offhand, but she put out an article basically saying, well, R. Kelly is getting his just desserts, but what about Chris Brown? Well, sure enough, a week later, Chris Brown is being accused of rape in Paris. Now, I'm reading reports from the dailymail.com. I don't really like the Daily Mail. It's one of those leftist leaning news articles that push, a feminist, LGBTQ agenda. It is what it is. But media today is bad in general. I think Fox News is bad, but I also think Daily Mail is bad. I also think CNN is no different. That's my opinion. Uh, so yeah, well, this morning, this is the article. I posted it in the chat room. Chris Brown has been arrested in Paris. R&B singer Chris Brown has been arrested in Paris on suspicion of rape. A 24-year-old woman has accused Brown of raping her on the evening of January 15 at a hotel in the French capital. Brown and two other people, one of whom is said to be his bodyguard, are in custody in Paris today as police investigate. He is alleged to have met a woman at or near the nightclub Champs Elysees and taken her back to the Mandarin Oriental Hotel, where he is accused of having attacked her. Now, I see pictures here. You guys can't see them. But if you go to that link, they have a picture with Brown with his girlfriend, Amika Harris, at a Paris nightclub, Cirque Bonheur. I'm sorry, my French isn't that good this morning. Cirque Bonheur on Saturday night. I think I pronounced Bonheur. I think I've pronounced that right. He's pictured there on Saturday night. Now, obviously, he's with his girlfriend that Saturday. And again, I don't know as to Chris's innocence or to his guilt. As a general rule, I believe in the presumption of innocence. Being an attorney, that is a standard that our court system is still held to, although in this day and age, outside influence states that you're guilty until proven guilty. And that's the era that we're living in right now. When you see, all of the events that's transpired with these accusations of sexual misconduct. So neither here nor there, if you read the article further, and I'm just going in, but yeah, Chris Brown, they're saying he's been arrested, and this is the timeline that they put. They gotta look at your troubles. 2009, he pleads guilty to assaulting Rihanna, sentenced to 5 years. 2012, involved in a nightclub brawl with Drake in New York. Case is settled. 2013 has to do 1,000 hours of community service. So they listed a whole timeline on this website about Chris's troubles. Now, what's interesting, when I talked about the USA Today article that was done last week, they basically talked about Chris Brown getting, the R. Kelly treatment. Whoever the news reporter was, she's not even worth mentioning, but you can go look at it. And I called it out as a racist hit piece because often, too many times, they want to look at, Chris Brown had gotten his RCA, his master signed a new deal with RCA Records, with the RCA label. And I believe he gets the rights to his masters according to what the article stated. And so right after that, and he's doing this, R. Kelly comes along. They have the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly. And right now, just this past week, R. Kelly's label dropped him. So it is not a coincidence to me that all of this stuff is just happening that fast or within that, that quick of a time frame, that you have two black men on different record labels already in trouble with the law. Now, R. Kelly has never been convicted of a crime. He was arrested and tried. But of course, when you go on Twitter, and I was looking at Tyrannosaurus Burke, she actually tried to lie and say that it took 20 years for R. Kelly to be brought to justice. No, he was brought to justice beforehand. And when they had an opportunity, they didn't do anything. There was no crime that was committed based in the eyes of the law. The girl didn't testify. The parents didn't testify. They had opportunities to do so, and they failed to. They had an opportunity, if this allegations were true, to bring it to court. They didn't want to. Blame it on, lack of self-respect. They sold their souls for money. Blame it on those things. But nevertheless, he wasn't convicted on that. And don't tell us lie that it took 20 years when white men, it can be 30 or 40 years. Look at Roman Polanski. He has fled the justice after committing and admitting to pleading guilty, unlike Bill Cosby, who never pled to or confessed to doing anything illicit, although the media tells the lie that he did and he did not. But nevertheless, Roman Polanski is roaming free. Woody Allen is roaming free with things that most people know that they were doing or have heard that they were doing. But not getting off subject, you see the point in the hypocrisy that goes on when it comes to Black Americans, Black males in particular, versus white males that are accused of sexual misconduct, or sometimes even worse things than that. Chris Brown, getting back to it, I don't know if the charges are even true. We would have to look at, the relationship with this woman, how he met her. If she was at his hotel room, they would have to look at, any physical evidence that they have on him, on her, from a rape kit to to hair samples, things of that nature, DNA, fingerprint, and that, whether there's skin or blood in the victim's fingernails from scratching him, anything that she can identify him with. We don't know that for certain. But you see the immediate, when you read this article, you will see the immediate push to show the man or treat the man as if he is, this violent predator. And again, we don't know all of the facts. So I want to stay clear and say he's innocent until proven guilty. If there's evidence that proves that, then okay. If it goes to court and they show that, fine. But there's definitely, this is definitely, guys, something's going on in the media right now. Something's going on in the world where we're seeing all of these men that are just being dropped by it. Like R. Kelly just got dropped by his label. And then after Chris Brown signs with RCA to get his master's, he's hit with a rape charge. Just yesterday, I believe, Nicole, shout out to Nicolesville, she had posted an article or posted a video. I think it was an article about Chris Brown. And I saw this actually this morning about Chris Brown having a naked woman inside of his house. This message, Squeaky G says, is this the same dude who say, I can take a broke nigga bitch? I can make a broke bitch rich. Well, hey. All right. He also had those hoes. Well, he had those hoes ain't loyal. So did, Tupac. I Get Around, hit him up when he talked about banging Biggie's wife. I mean, rap has always been, and R&B in the last 25 years has always been what people would consider not PC, toxic. But that goes also on the record labels who push things of that nature. They actually want to push, negative images towards Black males. But I'm not talking about that. His lyrics, that has nothing even to do with what's going on, Squeaky G. At any rate, guys, a setup for a setback. Yeah. Well, it's definitely. I think it's just definitely odd. He gets his master's, and then all of a sudden the next week he's hit with a rape charge. Now, doesn't mean it didn't happen. I don't know. Just like you, we weren't there. I really don't know, honestly. He's being held right now. I don't know who his attorneys are and what the facts of the case are they saying. Could be false. You know, athletes and entertainers get sued all the time for things. You know, Chris Rock, I remember years ago, he had a sexual assault allegation or sexual harassment. And from what I understand, I actually spoke with the private investigator for in that case. He was actually the private investigator for Tom Mesereau's name, Scott Ross. He represented, he did things with Bill Cosby recently, and he did things with Michael Jackson. You know, he said that the woman who was accused Chris Rock of doing stuff, she had a history of making false rape accusations against other celebrities. And the place that she says it happened is a known local hub. Is where, uh, you know, a house of ill repute where people go and have sex. It's a known, I guess, like a whorehouse or something like that. You know, where they meet. And I don't think it was a house. I believe it was actually at a hotel. Excuse me. Let me start over. But basically, it's a known hub where prostitution and so forth takes place. If that was my understanding, but Chris has never been charged with that. And I remember an article on it. And on top of that, the woman was proven a liar. So those things, excuse me, guys, let me just get some water right quick. So those things happen. But I hope Chris' money game is right. If he is innocent of this, he's about to go down. I don't think it was a coincidence that that USA Today article was put out right after R. Kelly and when Chris Brown got his new deal with RCA. My understanding as I'm reading this, and I don't know, I'm assuming that RCA label, and they have this is under the Sony label because it says Brown's publicist at Sony Music would not immediately comment. So R. Kelly was dropped from Sony just this past week. So my understanding and from reading that is that Chris and R. Kelly are all under the same label, although what will typically happen is that nowadays it's not as saturated with record companies. Record companies are not totally independent. They are actually under the umbrella of a bigger record label or corporation. So RCA, I believe, may be owned by Sony. It's just like in television now, when you have CBS, you have CBS is owned by Viacom, and Viacom in turn owns not only CBS, but they own VH1 and Comedy Central and Nickelodeon and BET, which is why when you see the MTV Music Awards now, you can find it on BET. You can also find the BET Awards on MTV, something that didn't occur years ago. We never saw that. But there's this big monopoly where everybody is owning all of these things, networks. There's no independence anymore. Everything is all under one umbrella. So again, call it a conspiracy theory, but I don't think it's a coincidence that right after R. Kelly gets dropped from his label, you have a USA Today article before that that was saying Chris Brown should get the R. Kelly treatment. And sure enough, in less than a week or 2 weeks, let's just say less than 2 weeks, Chris Brown gets hit with a rape charge. Does it mean he's innocent? No, absolutely not. I don't know that. But does it mean he's guilty? No. Hey, he's innocent till proven guilty. We got to wait and see what the facts are. But I know the press is going to have a field day with this. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if another USA Today article comes out, you know, trying to get him removed again from his label. Or, hell, a docuseries. Can there be a docuseries on Chris Brown that Lifetime would put out, Surviving Chris Brown, or hell, even you know, something that they may do, you know, where they may get Rihanna to speak about it, and stay off code. So honestly, I don't know. But it just seems odd to me that all of that has happened. I don't think it's coincidence. But stranger things have happened. And, it could be true, but we'll never know. And, we'll just have to see what the facts and evidence are. But anyway, guys, hey, I hope Chris Brown has money, paper is long, because I'm seeing a lot. Here's another thing: when a lot of these men get accused of crimes like this magnitude, it costs money to go to court. I know it costs money and time because aside from paying lawyers, you also got to pay court costs. In the current climate, why is he with strange women alone with no witnesses, cameras? That is a good question. Uh, Obviously, I think Chris should have somebody watching his back. Any black entertainer right now that's got money basically should have someone watching his back. But keep in mind too, Chris Brown actually, I'm reading this too, the bodyguards are actually being arrested for this as well. So were they there? What did they see? We don't know all that's happening right now. So I'm just waiting for the truth to come out. I'm waiting to hear more information. I don't want to rush to judgment on it, but I'll just say he's innocent till proven guilty, and we'll wait and see what the facts are. But there were two other people arrested with Chris Brown. Just read the article. So it wasn't like they weren't. We just don't know. But yeah, you got to have a camera around you, especially in this day and climate. I think that many people don't think something like this. Many men don't think anything like this could happen to them. But history is telling you otherwise. Look at Bill Cosby. This case, they reopened a case that was settled 15, 14 years ago, and he was found guilty still. The prosecutor agreed not to press charges against Bill Cosby. They had an agreement in an email that if Bill Cosby gives his testimony in a civil case, because there was not going to be criminal prosecution, and based off that, the immunity was granted. Now, when the prosecutor made that, I've said this time and time again, when he made that proclamation, he didn't make that as a hi, I'm Bruce Castor. He made that as, hi, I'm Bruce Castor, the district attorney. So as a DA and as the officer of the court, and a representative of the state, he basically made a legally binding agreement. Now, why was not that upheld? Well, unfortunately, the attorney for Cosby at the time, it's my understanding he passed away. On top of that, also, while it was an email, it was not in a formal written document with each, the attorney's signature and the district attorney's signature and Mr. Cosby's signature, which should have been on there. So let that be a lesson with you guys. Anytime you make an agreement, everybody's going to say something. And yeah, when you can have a contract that's made orally, just make sure you get everything in writing, because everyone is not going to remember what they say. Everybody will turn it. Everybody's not only going to not remember what they say, they're also going to lie to you. People are not going to always tell the truth. So make sure you get it in writing. As we say, and we have a language in our field, CYA, cover your ass. The other thing too, the judge in the case, he was obviously very prejudicial. I've spoken to a few of Mr. Cosby's attorneys. I know them, and I've spoken with them, and they stated that the two attorneys, the judge and the district attorney, do not like each other. And this is actually a point in Bill Cosby's appeal that's being mentioned now, is that the reason the judge did not allow the district attorney to testify on Mr. Cosby's behalf was they actually had a bitter rivalry when the judge was running, this is O'Neill, was running against Castor for the DA, and Castor brought up O'Neill's affair with a assistant prosecutor in his office. He brought that up, and they don't like each other as a result of it. So I think that stuff is real. Prejudice is real in our system if you don't know. So once again, Sorry, guys, I'm just getting these notifications that I'm reading. I'm looking at my Facebook notification. People that shout out to everyone watching me through the Facebook link. He says, I know, but let's keep our eyes on this young man. You know, the Grammys is coming soon. What happens every year around this time? Well, every year just before Grammy, we lose a singer. Yes, the timing is scary. Grammys is next month. Keep your eyes open. Who's next? You know, I didn't think about that, but that is true. The Grammys are coming um, in February. I don't really follow the Grammys, actually. I think all award shows suck. See you later, Squeaky G. Thank you for joining me. B1 for life. What's up, man? Yeah, we're just talking about Chris Brown being next. Yeah, I don't honestly I don't follow too many award shows, guys. And you know, they stink. Just put it that way. It's more like artists are being pushed to you instead of the best artists actually winning. You see that even in the Oscars last year when that movie Shape of Water won Best Picture. And basically, my understanding, I haven't watched the movie, but I don't want to watch it because I find Shape of Water basically to be a retelling of the movie Splash that was in the 80s. If you remember when Tom Hanks and John Candy in a movie, and Daryl Hannah was, she was a gorgeous woman too, but she played the mermaid in the movie. And, that basically, fast forward 30 something years later, they have Shape of Water, which is a woman, a mute woman who falls in love with a fish man. So, I can't wait for the sequel. What's it going to be? Shape of Water 2, The Caviar. Talk about their children. So, yeah, I didn't watch crap like that. Mm. I'm looking up at the TV. I see Kyle Turd. I know he's talking bad about my Saints. So, yeah, that was a bad. Yeah, y'all see me wearing my who that hoodie? Yeah, I still say who that, but it is what we got screwed, but it is what it is. You know, I'm trying not to get even emotionally in these games anymore. But in New Orleans, guys, you got to remember football is a little bit different because New Orleans is a smaller market, and you know, Saints for years had been kicked down. So yeah, people are real sensitive about it, and especially after the flood, dealing with Katrina and recovery has been big. But I've actually been involved as a Saints fan going back to when I was little and I was as young as I can remember it. So hey, it is what it is. So excuse me. So yeah, but yeah, that's about it, guys. I gotta get back to work, but Chris Brown better watch his back. He needs to be safe. Um, any celebrity now, any rapper, if you with a bunch of girls, please, 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 no means no. You should be respectful, but I do know girls will come on to guys who got money. That's just real. I mean, I've seen it in Las Vegas. All the women that was on, I was in Las Vegas and I saw Tiger performing and Tigger, excuse me, Tiger. And, the girls, all walking up to the stage. He brought women on. They were all coming up onto him. And I'm pretty sure, and I know this for a fact, when you have money, that gives you prestige. And women are attracted to fame. They're attracted to prestige. They're attracted to money. I mean, we all are meant to, but when you have somebody who's famous and popular and can rap and is talented, you're a catch. I mean, if you got money, you're a catch. And you can have any woman you want. And Chris Brown is one of those guys. I know he can bang a girl just because he's Chris Brown. You know, just like I think Bill Cosby could have banged any woman he wanted because why? He's Bill Cosby. Or Eddie Murphy is the same way. Richard Pryor. We can go on. So I don't want to keep going on, guys, but this is deep. Pay attention to it. And y'all stay tuned. Peace out. Love y'all.